Okay, we're about to go live. I am apparently live right now. So, hi everyone. Camera's there. Got to keep that in mind. Keep looking that way, but camera's over there. Is it frozen? No, I can see myself. I'm tiny, but I see myself. All right, so we are going to be playing some Coffee Talk, which is a new game that I saw yesterday while reading an article and apparently came out today. It's essentially a barista type game. You're making coffee for people who also apparently are monsters, and you're listening to their life stories. So we're going to be doing that. And occasionally I will be answering some questions from some of my patrons who have been giving me some cues to answer. If you want to get in on that, it's every. I think it's oh god, that's loud. All right. Oh, you wait, hold on. Is my microphone not? Yeah, my microphone's working. Desktop audio though. Yeah, that's working too. I'm gonna have to lower the volume for that. Okay. But yeah, there's gonna be some questions answered. It's all gonna be good. Just gonna have some Friday evening streaming fun. All right, we're gonna go down to 50. Let's go 25% audio. That's gonna be fine. Yeah, much better. Okay. So, hello Simon, how you doing? How you doing? Camera's over there. And Bios as well. Nice. Welcome to the stream. Y'all ready for this? We're gonna be playing some. I have played this game enough to make 1 cup of coffee, and I did that in endless mode just to see how the interface looked. So pretty new to this. I will occasionally go in and read the questions to answer. We can actually start one right away. Now I'll wait until some more people show up to the stream. So, how you all doing tonight? You having a nice Friday, or today, I guess you call it. I'm not gonna call myself Barista. I'm gonna be called Primogen, obviously. All right, confirm. Yes, Primogen is correct. I've checked out the options. Welcome, Primogen. I'm gonna be the Barista. Let's play the game. And I got an achievement. Welcome to Coffee Talk. I got an achievement for starting the game. That's nice. Seattle, 2020. A city filled with dreams and madness, and apparently taco-eating vampires, if you've been following Seattle by night. A time when the great... Cat fur in my nose. A time when the great war between races is but a footnote in history. The great race wars. A time when anyone can dream of being whatever they want to be, and have those dreams crushed before they can even be discussed. Nice. The reason for choosing this game, I wanted to pick something casual. I saw that there were vampires, werewolves, succubi, all that kind of stuff in this game, so felt like it worked a little bit with the mood. I wanted to try it out, and yeah, that's pretty much the reason. It's casual enough, it seems, so I can pause and answer some questions, and also had a pretty stressful week, so this is like an hour and a half, 2 hours of just relaxing playing the game. But still, it is a place and time where anything can happen. So, maybe not entirely in theme with my channel, we'll see. It is when the elves have left the forest to build their startups. Alright, we'll get some elf startups, some elf hipsters. When the dwarves have emerged from their caves to start their automotive empires. This is very slow text right now, by the way. When the orcs have put down their axes and started using computers to improve their lives. And when humans live among them, as driven as ever. It is a city that holds the many dreams and stories of its people. Alright. Oh god, most of these stories, it's very slow text. Yeah. Most of these stories are left untold, but some few find solace in the embrace of bricks and wood and glass. Yeah, dwarves making cars. I can see that. They are told... Stupid cat hair. Sorry about that. They are told over drinks, then take up residence in some strangers' memories. Also, I hope the frame around me is fine. I wanted to get something that was not too intrusive, but it does look like it's taking up a lot of the picture. In one corner of the city stands a coffee shop. A place that is, Wolf Among Us vibes. Yeah, I can see that. I can see that. That's a pretty good game. A place that is only open when the sun is sleeping. A place where people share their stories. And these are their stories. we'll see. I mean, if I like this game, I might play it again later. I just wanted to try it out. It seemed pretty neat. And it's made by a pretty small studio, so I wanted to support them. So that's it. Tuesday, September 22nd, 2020. Or 2020. Post-Brexit. Yeah, Brexit's happening tonight, right? Welcome. Oh, it's you. Hey, Primogen. How's the night so far? It's calm, as usual. It's Freya. We've got a slight problem, though. Huh? What happened? My supplier made some logistical errors. I don't even have half of my ingredients today. Hey, man, that's a bummer. Oh, don't worry. I can still serve the caffeine you desperately need. What is this little phone thing over here? Tomodachi. Alright, so Freya. Birthday, 29th of January. Writer for the Evening Whispers. Talks about mundane things, art, and life in general. Friends only, close. Alright, so that's what I know about her. Georgie, Seattle Police. I know his birthday. And Gala. I know his birthday. Alright, so this is like a friend app thing. How do I get back from here? Brewpad. Alright, recipes. Cool. Cool, so I got some recipes here. And what else we got? We got stories. Your free trial will start tomorrow. Thank you for subscribing to our Fiction Plan free trial. You will have active subscriptions to our Fiction Plan and will start receiving your daily short stories tomorrow. Hope you enjoy the content we provide. And some music. Oh, okay, so I can change the music. I can change the soundtrack. That's neat. All right, that's good to hear. I like the game here. It's a nice interface. Anyway, let me set things up first. Also, I'm gonna answer the first question from my patrons. Let's see here. How often do you play Vampire? That's the first question I got. How often do I play Vampire? I play, let's see here, every second week with the Chicago Chronicles, which is a short session. So we're gonna do 4 sessions, I think. Original aim was 3 times. Paradox Interactive Community Feedback Survey. Oh yeah, yes. Thanks for bringing that up, Simon. Before I answer the questions, yes, there's a survey out right now for World of Darkness. Very interesting, very in-depth. I answered a lot of questions in it. Especially like that they asked about the other content for World of Darkness, like Demon, The Fallen, all that kind of stuff. Because I'm getting the feeling that White Wolf is expanding again, like Paradox is investing money and time into it again, after, 2018's, how do you want to call that? Misstep. Let's call it the misstep. It was not 15 minutes, it was way longer, yeah. But yeah, I thought it's great that they're asking for this much input, and I like that they brought up a lot of the community content stuff as well. How often do you play Vampire? Is Mr. Zim asking me. So Mr. Zim, I'm playing Vampire every second week right now with my Chicago Stories from Chicago. It's like going to be 3 to 4 sessions. Probably going to be 4 sessions. My aim for Chicago Stories from Chicago, is to have 3 to 4 games every year, with like 2 months in between. So there's one now in spring. There will be one in April, presumably, one in July, and one in October. All right, something like that. Oh, I've just started playing. This is great so far. So I'm answering some questions as well. Hey, okay. Oh, yeah. Hardcastle video turned out really great. I'm happy you liked it. I'm very happy with it too. I was very nervous before it went live though. I didn't think anyone was gonna like it. I also play Vampire. Coffee Talk is great so far, by the way. I don't know. I will be playing a bit more, but I'm answering a question right now. I'm also playing every month with my real life group, and as for Vampire, I think that's about it, unfortunately. I would like to play some more Vampire, but I'd also need to have the time for it. I'm in like 8 different games with other, like I'm playing Cult, I'm playing Changeling, I'm playing Dungeons & Dragons, like a bunch of stuff, so. Anyway, back to the game. You are our first customer after all, so apparently I didn't get any of my usual supplies. I'm just gonna be able to make some basic coffee, I guess. Don't worry, take your time. I'm a writer, not an editor. Yeah, right. So I'm used to things taking things slow. I really kind of like the mood for this game. I've always kind of wanted to be a barista. I don't think I'd be good at it though, or a bartender really, just someone who's there to listen to people, don't have to provide conversation, just use an ear, Writer's block again, huh? Now you got that right. What are you writing now? Do you remember my plan to... Guess we got a customer. Or... Ah, pardon the interruption. Pour some coffee and help an elder out. Need help and opinion with a mechanics problem. Bios, you saying you need some help from me, or am I misunderstanding here? I could try to help you out with the mechanics of something, but you gotta let me know. The machine is ready. You want your triple shot espresso now? Yes, please. And if you forget how to make it, just check your phone, okay? Anyway, I really need that triple shot espresso. Alright, triple shot espresso. I'm gonna assume that's 3 times. Let's check the phone anyway. We got coffee beans, espresso, coffee. Alright, well, simple enough. Warm and bitter. What's this little button here? Alright. Brew. Pour some coffee and help an elder out. You know, I wish vampires could drink coffee, but unfortunately they can't. Okay, so I can trash something 5 times, or I can serve it, right? 1 cup of triple shot espresso. Special for my cup. Okay, got another achievement. First brew. I feel like I like this game so far, but I'm not a huge fan of achievements just being given to you right like that. Like, I know that's a thing to see people play the game and stuff like that, but just progressing in the story feels a little bit not forced. That's harsh, but it's a little unearned. You know, I'm gonna lower the music a little bit more because I'm shouting. There we go. Ambience is fine though. No, resume game. Special for my only customer tonight. So, what's everyone's favorite cup of coffee? That aroma. Exactly what I need. Anyway, where were we? Your plan to do something? Yes, that. It's not that I hate writing stories for the newspaper, you know, but it seems like the right time for something bigger. So, a novel? Yes. It sounded so simple when I was making the plan. At least you still have your job. In case things go awry. Feels like some games recently give you an achievement simply for pressing play. Yeah, I get the feeling too. Like I said, I'm not entirely opposed to it. It just feels a little bit unearned. Like, some achievements... I mean, I gotta work for some achievements, you know. Alright, she's laughing. Now, did I say something wrong? No, you're right. You said something I should have thought about myself. What are you talking about? You know who owns the Evening Whispers? GRA Media, right? Yeah. And they are also the biggest book publisher in the country. Yeah, I know, Adrian. Be quiet, you. I know there's a text speed option, but it's fine now. Let's make it fast, though. Also, hi, how are you? How are you doing? How's your back? And they are also the biggest book publisher in the country. So when an opportunity presented itself, I took it. What do you mean by opportunity? Well, I bumped into one of the big guys in the elevator. Okay, so Blood Brothers. In games, I used to grab random strangers and turn them via magic. Then I read Rites of Blood, and it says it happens with 7-year-olds. What and how? Alright, you're trying to create Blood Brothers? Because I think that's a combination of blood magic and... I think the blood magic is the thing to create them, and the vicissitude is to make them look like each other, correct? How do they grow? I don't think they're supposed to be done with 7-year-olds. Where did that say that it was a thing? Also, I'm gonna move the Q&A window over here in case someone writes something new. Whoop, oops, opened accidentally.
Audacity, that was not my intention. So here we go. Coffee talk. Rites of Blood book. Koldun and Thaumaturgy 5. Oh, it's Koldun Ghost. I didn't know that. Yeah, that would make sense. That's why they couldn't make them anymore, because you know, stuff happened. 7-year-olds though, that's weird. I don't recall that at all. I mean, I'm not super good at thaumaturgy in general. I haven't read all the books on them. But I seem to recall they turned other vampires into blood brothers, or did I get that wrong? Fall of London. I haven't gotten any more into that. I have not had that much time to get into Fall of London, unfortunately. We started The Beckoning soon after that, and we started talking about Cult of the Blood Gods, which took up a lot of my free time. And between running my Chicago by Night Chronicle, The Beckoning, Changeling, and my usual channel, and also making videos for my patrons, I've unfortunately had to put Fall of London on the shelf, but I plan to read it. I have a week of vacation. We have spring break in the end of February, so I'm going to read it then. Very late, I know, but I'm going to read it then, I promise. So naturally, I pitched my book today. Also, survivors, I don't think I can help you, but 7-year-old sounds different. I don't ever recall that being a thing. Although there's many different ways to create them, I guess. Alright, so she's gonna write a book, huh? Come on, don't look at me like that. Are you for real? Yeah, I know, it was such a stupid thing to do. So, how did they react? Thankfully, he'd seen my short stories. So he challenged me. If I can get a draft ready in a month, he'll pull some strings and get the fiction publishing division, that's a good one, to sign me up for a publishing deal. That sounds great. What about your job at the Evening Whispers? Do you have time to do both? That's the hard part. I've been secretly working on a novel during office hours. I'm working on something else during office hours. That shouldn't be doing that. Who would do such a thing, working on a project during their working hours? Wait, I actually have a copy. Yeah, I mean, if you bought the pre-order, you got the PDF. So I have it all printed out in a binder. Yeah, sorry, Bios. I guess if you checked at the Old World Darkness Discord chat, I know there's a lot of people talking about that place. I checked something up there myself a while back. That's the best place I could mention asking there. You were saying, how did they grow up? If they had vicissitude, I can imagine like they just added on more flesh or something, but they don't, so that's weird. But yeah, sorry Simon, like I was saying, I pre-ordered it, so I got the PDF and I printed it, and I got it all in a binder, so that's my physical copy of it. And I'm falling behind on the newspaper's deadlines. If the chief finds out, she'll probably kick me out. Ouch. Well, at least you've got a month to finish the initial draft. That was last week. Oh. Again, don't look at me like that. How far along are you? I assume the number of words you have written is not too far from 0. Hey, that's rude. I've written some stuff, you know. Probably not related to the book, but may I see it? Well, it was so bad that, well, after reading it, I decided to just delete everything immediately. Don't do that. Don't delete your stuff. It's bad practice. So, 0. Yeah. I really need to finish it in at most 2 weeks. Then I'll use the extra week to polish and do some editing. Sounds like a plan. If you can pull it off. I know. You don't need to be so cynical about it. That's why I'm here today. I hope to find some inspiration. Oh, I'm a simple barista. How can I provide any inspiration? Oh, I wrote some of my best short stories here, you know. Really? God, this place could be of service. Oh, it looks like someone's coming. Welcome. Oh, hello. Welcome. Hi there. Hello. Good evening. For here, miss? Yeah, don't delete. Like, that's why you have Google Drive. You can literally go back in history and just recover something you deleted anyway. Yes, please. I'm not really sure what to order, though. What do you recommend? Well, that depends highly on your mood. I'm just here to meet my boyfriend. Not planning to be awake all night. So, definitely no coffee. How about something chocolatey? It's perfect for this weather. That's a good idea, actually. Thank you. You're welcome. Should I be reading this out loud? Are you folks okay with reading it? I feel like I should read it out loud because I can skip it pretty quickly. But there's probably going to be a lot of people. Is there cat people walking in the background? Anything with chocolate in, please. Right. Obviously no coffee. chocolate, milk, chocolate. Let's see the recipes though. Is this chocolate? No, it's chocolate. Dark chocolate, chocolate. Yeah, how about we put a little bit of milk in there? But not, you don't want it cool, right? Alright, reset. Chocolate milk. Brew. Again, new recipe for that. Milk chocolate. Perfect. Let's give it some latte art too. You can read it out loud. I don't mind. I love to be in other tabs at the same time. Pop in the chat. Not miss much. Yep, I'll keep reading it out loud. Alright, so for our first piece of latte art, we are going to make the best... We are going to reset, and we're going to make a P. It kind of looks like a P, right? And we're going to embellish it a little bit. Woo! Primitive brand hot chocolate. We're going to etch it. Ooh. Make it all spooky. Alright, it looks more like a... I don't know what that looks like at all. It looks... it's P. Serve it. One cup of chocolatey goodness. It's a masterpiece. Another achievement. Thank you. Oh, so warm. So you're waiting for your boyfriend? Yes, he should be here soon. Yeah, I made a ghost. Look at you now. You went from empty to 3 customers in one night. I thought this place would be more crowded, considering it's the only coffee shop that's still open after midnight around here. I really like the fact that you can go to coffee shops late at night and just hang, because they don't sell alcohol, obviously, so you're not going to get that kind of customer, and you can sit there and you can write something, you can check your... you can do whatever, really. I like that. I like coffee shops. Because it's the only coffee shop that still opens past midnight, it's mostly empty. Now that you mention it, it is good for business. Oh, is it good for business having the coffee shop only open at night? Well, I guess I'm a vampire, so that explains a lot. Definitely not. Yep, what she said. Then why? I just love doing it. Also, the sunlight burns me to death, so there's that. And there's always someone longing for a warm drink at this hour. That's fascinating. Pardon me for asking, but how can you survive running the coffee shop like this? Now, that's the secret. Primogen here is damn rich, that's the secret. Oh, really? She's exaggerating. But don't worry about it, Primogen can manage. I'm sure this place isn't going bankrupt anytime soon. Hey, don't... Are you saying... Are you calling me the 1%er? So you'll still have a weird, quiet place to meet up at night. Well, that's good to hear. Yeah, old world money. That's me. I mean, when you don't have any living expenses, it just kind of ends up piling up. When you invest some, you put some money here and there, and it all goes... Well, it's gotta go somewhere. By the way, are you a regular here? I don't really have anywhere else to go. I'm a writer who works best at night and in a coffee shop. Not so many options for that. No wonder. She's a pretty good writer, you know. You can find some of her stories in the Evening Whispers. Shut up! Wow, that's really interesting. What kind of things do you cover? There's got a lot of dialogue in this game. Should have probably guessed that. I cover the stories of people around town. Personal, interesting, weird stories. I also contribute to their short stories. I love the fiction. You wrote those stories? Thank you. I wrote most of them, but not all. That's so cool. Then, are you here to write a new piece? I should be. But I don't even know what to write about. Looks like we got ourselves our 3rd customer. Oh my god. Look at this guy. Welcome? Hi. Sorry to keep you waiting. It's okay. I had a nice chat with the fine folks here. Hi there. Hello. Hi, would you like to order something? Surprise me. What kind of order is that? Well, I don't really know what to order. Do you have any preferences, sir? Got him. Yeah, elf. Elven hipster, that's the one. Something bitter to keep me awake, with milk. Oh, and draw some latte art on the top. Right, well, I'm gonna go with this one. Green tea. And we're gonna go with some milk. I think this is gonna be okay, right? Green tea, gross. I hate green tea. I'm 5 years old. I'll never set. Sorry. Alright, hi Jay. We are going to mute you. We're going to put you in timeout because that kind of talk does not belong here. I'm going to remove that. There we go. Sorry, Jay. Don't want any of that in here. This is a discourse-free stream. Is that a good vampire? I think it is. Here's your order. This won't help me stay awake, but at least it's got milk. Anyway, what? You wanted something? You wanted me to mix coffee in that? What? Yeah, and I made him bitter tea. Yeah, discourse. I'm saying that with huge quotation marks, like weird hate spam, more like it. Anyway, I was distracted by some work. Plus, there's this rain. It's okay, Bailey's. I was having a nice chat with him. He didn't like it. Did he like it? He wanted to stay awake as well. He didn't tell me. Whatever. Oh yeah, I haven't properly introduced myself. I'm Bailey's. Oh my, where are my manners? I haven't introduced myself either. My name is Lua. We have them now in Friendster, Tumnachel. Oh, good question. So, how did the Stories from Chicago collaboration come about? You contacted Strange Adventures or vice versa? Actually, what started out was, I believe it was a Twitter user. Let me find his name. Here we go. I think it was Def Malkavian on Twitter who said that me and Huddy and Outstar should do a collab of some kind, like a podcast. And Outstar liked the idea, so we started talking about it, and I pretty quickly offered to storytell a game, but we decided to do The Beckoning first, the podcast. And Outstar also contacted Strange Adventures or Jarsh, to join in, because, you know, 4 people makes for more balanced discussion. And we started out, it worked fine. So after the first Beckoning stream, we talked a little bit about it. I offered to play a short game, storytell a short game. Outstar couldn't join, unfortunately, because she's busy with stuff, you know. Can't talk too much about that. I don't know everything, of course, but well, you'll see tonight because there's going to be the stream tonight. So it was me, Josh, and Huddy, and I asked Kitsu, my wife, to join the game, and that's how it happened, essentially. And we couldn't play too many games because Josh had other obligations, so I figured let's just make a mini chronicle out of it. Oh yeah, this is definitely got the Shadowrun feel to it. LA by Night style tabletop. That's a good question. I would love to do that. I'm very jealous right now of Outstar joining the Vain Pursuits, what's it called? The other game that's gonna be streamed right after LA by Night. So don't stop watching after LA by Night. Watch the Vain. I need to check if it was Vain Pursuits. I don't want to spread any misinformation. Let me see here. Vain Pursuit. Yeah, I remember it correctly. So Vain Pursuit is essentially Outstar playing with some the developers over at Paradox. I'm super jealous, and I want to play with Outstar as well at some point in time, if I can. She's really funny. We hung out a bit when she was in Sweden last weekend. No, that was the weekend before that. Yeah, it was a weekend before that. Had a lot of fun, and would love to play with her. Yeah, I just gotta have the time for it. Okay, sorry, where was I? Hi, I'm Freya. Nice to meet you both. Nice to meet both of you, Ethan. I'm Primogen. Also, let's check out their information. We got Freya. Okay, we're apparently not friends yet. Lua, business developer lead for what? At Discovery National Capital? Oh, alright, it's French. I don't speak French. Bailey's don't know anything about him, but that's a very hipster photo. Nice to meet both of you. I'm Primogen. There's been a lot of games lately that I've been playing, so I am thinking about trying to shuffle some things around because I am getting a little bit overworked, I think. Might do some changes on real life games or on streams. We'll see about that. Also, have y'all checked out Red Moon Roleplaying? Oh no, Outstar is not employed. She's not employed. She is a big name fan. She really exploded when she did a video on Tender, you know, the Bloodlines 2 advertisement, the ARG, is that what you call it? She kind of exploded out of that. She does not work for Paradox. I know she was there for an interview, maybe, I think, but I don't think there's been any decisions made there yet. So no, she doesn't work for Paradox or any of the studios. She worked for CD Projekt Red, worked on Witcher games, I think both 2 and 3, but she quit there a while back. But again, have you guys checked out Red Moon Roleplaying, their Sacrifice campaign? Episode 8. Surprise Pikachu face, I'm just telling you. Hey, did you know that Freya here is a writer for the Eating Whispers? Oh, really? I've done some work for them a few times. Oh, what kind of work? I'm a freelance designer and illustrator. Freelance, not lines. Freelance designer and illustrator. I've done some caricatures and infographics for the paper. I assume you were in contact with Steve? Yeah, he's a nice guy to work with. No, really? No, he isn't. For Torador in V5? I'm not sure I followed. Did they use Outstar for the Torador in V5 or was that an accident? I'm not sure I follow. No, she got called in. I think she got called in to do that. To ask to do it. Because she did the... what do you call it? She did the... stream, the charity stream. I think that got her some. She picked up, she appeared on their map, and they got in touch with her. I think, but I've dealt with worse clients, way worse. Oh, okay, cool. I did not. Torador V5 looks very. Which one? In like the rulebook, or? Not sure I follow. It's quite possible they got inspired by her looks for that character, but I think they would have told her then. Okay, I'm gonna answer another question, by the way. What is your favorite clan and why? I think I've answered this question a few times, but it keeps changing. My favorite clan is always gonna be Tzimisce, and very close second is Tremere. But as for third favorite clan, that's constantly changing. Tzimisce I like most because I like vicissitude. I think it's one of the most cool powers. I really hope they don't meld it with Protean or anything like that. I also like Tzimisce, the Path of Metamorphosis, because I think it's an interesting philosophy and a path. I think the fact that you're supposed, it's like the opposite Nirvana, like you're becoming completely separated from all of existence. I think that's a pretty neat concept. Tremere I like because Tremere, obviously. I like wizards and mages and stuff like that. And I really like the ordered structure they have and the fact that they're like trying to apply the manner of logic to their existence, which is nice. The clan, can't decide. Keep changing every time. Oh, by the way, Steelhaven, let me know when you get the letter I sent you. GM Steelhaven is my first Primogen tier Patreon. He got a letter sent to him not too long ago. This is triple folded, so I didn't keep it. This is how they look. So they get them every second month. Reading the Bloodlines 2 announcement with her mentions at the moment to catch up. The first episode of Vain Pursuit stream is Tabletop Chronicle before the events of Bloodlines 2. Yeah, it's gonna be pretty good. It's gonna be pretty good. They released a 5-minute video introducing the characters today. You could go and check that. It's true on YouTube and at Star and my Twitter. Whew, yeah, I'm really making a lot of progress in this game, aren't I? Yeah, I'm glad he's in the design and visuals department. I wouldn't be able to stand working with him directly. Come on, he's tough to deal with, but definitely not the worst. Oh, of course. No matter how deep you go, there's always another layer of hell. How do you usually deal with bad customers here? The only bad customers this late at night are lost drunk or criminals. That sounds really bad. Nah, they're easy to handle. That's because you're good with your fists. What kind of character am I playing? I'm not as good at your coffee making skills, though. Thank you. I'll take that as a compliment. You're welcome. Anyway, I really need to start writing. Whatever it is that I'm going to write. So I'll leave you two in the hands of our friendly neighborhood barista. Where are you going to write? Oh, not far. Just over at that table in the corner. Next to the windows. That's my spot. Oh, okay. Have fun. I like her phone cover thing. I'll try. Good luck. Thanks. I feel like should I have put some coffee in the green tea? That sounds disgusting. Should we move to other seats too? No, here's good. Okay then. So how was your day? It was fine. Work was nothing special. I finished my proposal early so I could get out of the office. Plus my boss was in a really good mood all day. I thought your boss was always a happy-go-lucky person. Well, he is. But today he was happier than usual. I'm not sure what happened, but it was great seeing him smile so much. What about you? Any problems with your latest client? Yeah, this one is a pain in the ass. You know those memes that depict terrible clients? Well, she fit all the bills. I could go on forever complaining about her, but that won't help me a bit. Well, you should make a meme about her. And lose my current project for a minute of laughter? That might be worth it. You should ask Primogen here about how he deals with annoying clients. Oh yeah? How do you usually deal with annoying customers? The ones you don't need your fists to take care of. No, I do have my own methods, but it wouldn't be wise to talk about customers to other customers. Now, that's one good lesson to learn for the day. She's got little horns on her phone, I love that. He doesn't have anything on his phone, though. That's interesting. Your parents? Yes. So you talked to them? Oh, they don't like her dating an elf? That's tough. I did. It didn't end well? No. What did they say? A lot. RimWorld. There's the Vampire and Masquerade mod for it. It's pretty neat. I haven't played RimWorld, but a lot of people recommended it to me. I have a friend of mine who's super addicted with it, so... and if there's a Vampire and Masquerade mod for it, I'm definitely going to try it out when I have the free time. I still haven't played Crusader Kings 2 with the Vampire and Masquerade mod. I really want to do that, so... that's number one on my list of things I should be playing. RimWorld, I'm going to get, because it sounds really fun. They won't give us a chance at all? Anyone but an elf. That's what they said. How about you? More or less the same. I got into a fight with my old man. That's why I'm staying at Farron's place now. They kicked you out? You don't have to do this, you know. They're your family. I can't stand even one more second being a part of them. I might not have stable income, but I can manage. This is interesting. Nice relationship. But still, you don't know what they said about you last night. I'm sorry. What did they say about me? Or about my race, I assume? Forget it. I want to know. Just the same old shit. mumbling about how elves are holy creatures, about our immortality, about how even if I outlive you... What? Nothing. About how if you outlive me, no other elves would want to be with an elf that's already been tainted by a lowly succubus. Oh, that's exactly what they said. Yeah, it's either Vampire the Masquerade or World of Darkness, but I think they're gonna get picked up, the people who worked on it. Now, this is just, maybe I'm misremembering, but the people who made that mod might get picked up because it's apparently really well done. So, very, like, extensive. I think it's Crusader Kings, too. Could be Europa Universalis, as they say in Swedish. Europa Universalis. How do you say that in English? It's Latin, right? So this is it then? The end of our relationship? Oh, come on, it doesn't have to be. You know our families will never agree. Oh, a single-player tabletop role-playing game. Oh, I have not. That's interesting. I saw he made a video about it. A single-player tabletop role-playing game. I'm subscribed to a Reddit about that, but I never got I've never had the time to sit down and try it. Tell me about it. That sounds interesting, and I do want to play it. And I should probably... I'm not going to check out this video, though. I'm going to actually try it myself. Maybe I should do it on the channel. That's fun. We can just continue like this. What do you mean? They don't need to know that we're still dating. We can just continue the way we've always been, without them knowing. And then what? Do you want to be hiding our relationship for the rest of eternity? We're not like humans, yo. We can't just elope. And you won't get permission because you're too old. Lua, I don't care about their permission. I'll be glad to sever my family ties if I have to. I can't let you do that. You'll lose your immortality. If I get to spend my life with you, I don't mind. Oof. This is pretty heavy stuff. I don't mind a bit. You're making this hard for both of us. Do you feel happy when you're with me? Of course I do. Then you don't need any more reasons. You know, we're perfect for each other. I'm an elf, you're a succubus. Perfect. We're perfect. Complementing colors. You're purple, I'm green, elvish. You don't even need to look deep down. Trust me, we can do this together. I can't think about this clearly right now. We'll talk later. Lua, wait. Oof. Oof. I like this game. It's a little heavy from the get-go, but I'm interested. I want to see how this relationship goes. It's actually decent. There are some memory game mechanics I think could be interesting in Vampire the Masquerade. The older the vampire, the more doubt they can recall events correctly. Interesting. They come with like a pre-made adventure. Like, I've never played a single-player tabletop role-playing game. Interesting story though. I used to play tabletop role-playing games on my own. When I was very young, I didn't have any. For a little while, I had friends I role-played with, but a friend that I role-played with. We kind of grew apart. He was 3 years older than me. So I got the Star Wars D6 role-playing game, the West End games. Very solid role-playing game, by the way. The West game. No, West End anyway. Expanded universe, so huge game. And I played it by myself, and I had 5 characters, and I just I think it was like 11 at a time. So I would pretend to be all these characters. It was a lot of work. Then I met friends and actually role-played for real, so that was good. But yeah, I really want to try that out. I'm sorry you had to listen to our problems. That's alright. This coffee shop has seen all kinds of stories. I do hope yours will have a happy ending. I hope so too. Do you have any alcohol? Sadly, no. That's a bummer. Well, do you have anything that's warm and can calm me down? What do you like? So he wanted coffee then, with a little bit of milk? Do you like green tea lattes? No, wait, that's his voice. Green tea lattes, I'll take one. Alright, so, okay, I guess I'm making one now. That's gotta be a latte, right? Yeah, nailed it. It's a green tea latte. This is good. Yeah, because you just had one. Fool. Well, not a latte, but you had green tea just now. This is good. Thank you for this. By the way, are you married? Me, no. Do you have someone you love? Yes, I do. I love this coffee shop, but I'm sure that's not the answer you're looking for. I didn't really have any expectations. Man, out of all the people in the whole world, why did I fall for her? You can't choose who you fall in love with. You can if you try hard enough. At least that's what my old man said. He really is one pretentious elf, but I guess all of them are. Entitled, pretentious, immortal douchebags. At least you have an eternity to learn and change. Or an eternity to be an eternal asshole. Anyway, I need to go now, and probably drink myself under until the sun rises. Oh, there's still a while until sunrise. More time for me to drink, then. See you around. See you around too, Miss Freya. Thank you. To visit again. Aw, thank you, Edrin. You are cute, I know. Wow, you were listening from the corner? Yeah, poor souls. I hope they find a way to be together. Yeah, me too. Anyway, I need to leave. I have to get up earlier than usual tomorrow. Oh, okay. I think I'm going to close the shop up after this. That's pretty early. I know he's a pumpkin spice fan, right? That's good. I don't know anything about her. There's Freya. Alright, let's just check all the rest of these, I guess. Huh, alright. I know. After the rest of the deliveries come in tomorrow, I'll open as usual. Okay, you have a good night then. You too. Alright, that seems like a perfect time to answer another question. Question number 3. What events in the lore history do you think is the best, coolest, and the worst, most meaningless? Oof, that's a spicy question. Alright, coolest event in lore history. Ooh, that's a tough question. Coolest event in lore history. Oh, God. Worst, most meaningless, equally difficult. I'm not going to say meaningless, but I am going to talk about the Giovanni Chronicles and my biggest problem. Yeah, Hasmel's eyes is it's interesting. My biggest issue in the meta plot that I found the most meaningless was in Giovanni Chronicles, because it's, at least the first book which I ran, was very railroady. And one of the problems you have when you have a game set heavily in the meta plot is that you don't really give the players a lot of opportunity to affect it. I would have liked it, and it of course wouldn't have worked because you can't release a book like this. I would have liked it if you could have prevented the diablerie of Cappadocius, and instead killed Augustus Giovanni, which would have essentially, like, there would have been branching paths, right? Like, you didn't have to do that for the entire 4-book series. Well, you would have had to do two different branches. But that would have been interesting, that you could stop the embrace from happening. So I think that was a really wasted opportunity, metaplot-wise. Not necessarily meaningless, but could have been done better, in my opinion. Best metaplot thing. I really, I found Monte Cove interesting when I was reading Beckett's Jihad Diary. I don't think that's the best though. Let me think. Honestly, oh, this is going to be super controversial. Very controversial. People are not going to agree with me, but I think the blowing up of the Vienna Chantry, the House de Hexy, I don't know if it's still called that, but it's called that in Vampire Redemption, so that's what I'm going to call it. The blowing up of House de Hexy in Vienna by the Second Inquisition, I think, is probably the thing that really got me hooked in V5 lore. Because I felt like it it was such a huge event, and it makes perfect sense in the plot because the. What is it, Wilma? Where are you? Did you guys hear that? It makes sense in the lore because the Banu Hakim wanted to further establish their position of. She's screaming. The Banu Hakim wanted to really establish themselves in Camarilla. So what they did was they messed with the Setites or the ministry when they tried to join. They blew that up, and they probably revealed the location of the Vienna Chantry to the Second Inquisition. As theory, but that's what I believe, because the Banu Hakim are mostly sorcerers, the viziers and sorcerers, I believe, who joined the Camarilla, and they of course use blood magic. So why not mess up the biggest rival you have for blood magic? So you severely weaken Tremere, who are already having a lot of internal strife. You turn the whole pyramid over on its end. I like the fact that you kind of can pick factions within the Tremere right now, and I think it made the Banu Hakim more interesting to me because it shows that they kind of ruthlessly wanted to be established in the Camarilla. And I kind of am beating myself up for not reading up on the Khadija al... whatever her name is, the primogen for Banu Hakim in Chicago. She's a really interesting character. So I think that's going to be the most interesting metaplot events for the game. Golconda, yes, apparently people have achieved Golconda. It's mentioned in zombie virus from Africa may have reached Seattle. That's from Africa. That's problematic. Seattle groceries distribution problems harm local restaurants. Fire plan to enforce stricter regulations to manage illegal immigration. Huh. So, I was saying, yes, Golconda has been achieved, and it can also be lost. You can lose Golconda, which is interesting. The Observer, I think they're called Observer, of Chicago, who is sent out by the Inconu. Actually, I believe she fell out of Golconda, if I'm remembering correctly. So yes, interestingly enough, Golconda was super common in fire instead of ice. It's interesting politics. That wasn't meant to be dismissive, by the way. I'm just having multiple trains of thought. Golconda was a lot more common in first edition of Vampire. It's mentioned everywhere, and it's achievable. But later editions, they kind of made it more mythical. Anyway, good evening, Freya. How are you doing? Good gracious. What is wrong with you? Oh yeah, in the city of Nod. Yeah, that's where the Inconu were hanging out. Didn't they get like super depressed when Ravana woke up and just kind of disbanded? Oops, we good nightmare stuff. Can't you just enter like a normal customer? I'm sorry, but I'm so excited to share this with you. What are you talking about? I know what to write for my novel. New message retracted. Hello, Mad Dodge. How you doing? Also, living in the Dark Ages achieved at some point in their lives. Yeah, exactly. Golconda is... It's more achievable than you think, but it's also probably not what you think it is. It's probably something... Like, it's a state of mind for sure, but it's not the end-all solution to all your problems like might have been sold to be. Is it one of your impulsive temporary ideas again? Hey, don't be rude. I'm being serious here. Okay, just tell me, what are you going to write about? This coffee shop. Alright. But I'm going to write stories about this coffee shop and the people who come here. Are you for real? Yes. What if I say you can't do that? I'm not asking permission. That's like a breach of the customer's personal lives, you know? Relax, I know that. I just need some inspiration from this place. The stories themselves will be loosely based on what I hear and see here. How loosely based? Blade Runner. Knife Walker novel versus movie level loosely based. The old one? Of course I'm talking about the old one. What editions of Vampire the Masquerade do you prefer? I'll play second edition myself. Interesting question. I prefer Revised because that's the edition I started with. I like V5. I like playing it because it's very different to the older editions, but I'm still going to be an Old World Darkness fan at heart. Second edition is very, 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 very good. Some of the best books were written in that edition. But Revised, I think I like the meta plot in Revised. One thing I've learned later on wasn't good with Revised is how they treated the Anarchs, but you know, they're getting their comeuppance now. But Revised is always going to be my, original edition. Had an interesting, saw an interesting post on one of the Facebook groups, by the way, about someone talking about editions. And obviously, since I'm streaming, I'm going to put my 2 cents into this conversation. I'll get to that one bios in a second. Thank you for bringing that up. I don't think V20 is a good edition to start with. I'm very firm on this. I usually don't have very strong opinions about edition. I don't want to police stuff. V20 was specifically created as a sort of best of edition of the previous editions. Like, it was just everything put into one big edition, which means that they had to sacrifice depth for breadth. They've released further splat books like Lord of the Clans and stuff like that, but the Lord of the Clans is nowhere near as detailed as the old clan books. I don't think V20 is a good edition to start with if people want to get into the game with the kind of the mindset that Vampire initially had. You know, that you were young, you were not so sure about the world, you were learning about it slowly. Yeah, I shared that opinion. I did. Of course, if you want to start with V20, that's fine, but V20 is like, what's a good comparison? It's like sitting down with the Oxford Dictionary to learn English, I guess. Like, yeah, it's everything you need, but it's not neatly packaged in the way previous editions were, in my very personal opinion. Opinions on merits and flaws in V5, that is my biggest beef with that system. I don't like the way they did it. I don't like that they dropped backgrounds, because the layout in the book is messy. I hate putting up merits, flaws, and backgrounds now. It's the one part of character creation I always loved in previous editions. I loved backgrounds, merits, and flaws. In V5, I just want to get it over with. Every time I look at Mola, Mentor, I just go, like my mind just doesn't want to work with it. I'm sorry, designers of V5, but that was a huge cock-up. the backgrounds, merits, and flaws. It's so difficult to navigate. I usually don't criticize like this, but when you make me not want to put up merits and flaws, that means you've dropped the ball. That's all I'm saying. Because I'm the only fan that matters, obviously. Sorry. Anyway, I'm never gonna finish this game. We're just gonna talk instead of continuing. That's already very different, you know. You can't get more different than that. But this is a very chill game, so I guess I picked a good game for this kind of stream. I mean, it's not like I can tell you not to write about a coffee shop, right? No, you can't. Although you can just ban me from coming. Okay, you're banned. What? You're just kidding, obviously. She's like my only customer, though. I wouldn't do that to my loyal customer. Very funny. Thanks for not banning me, though. Anyway, I'm really excited to see who's gonna come tonight. I had a little cat hair stuck in my nose from I was kissing Victor not too long ago, and yeah, I should wash my face, but whatever. I wonder what kind of stories they'll have. Rocket League? People still play Rocket League? Yeah, Lord of the Clans was not... Okay, I'm not gonna say it sucked. That's not an opinion I want to go on camera saying, but I don't go to Lord of the Clans when I want to rate my lore videos about the clans. Let's just leave it at that. Initially, I did. I read when I did Toreador Ventru, my first 2 clan lore videos. I read original clan book, revised clan book, and Lord of the Clans. The reason I could do that was because I had summer vacations. I had a lot of free time. I stopped doing that because they're all different. They're all saying different things. It was very annoying, so I'm going with revised lore books. That's in my view, that's going to be the best's rendition of clan history and culture. And Steelhaven, or God, my brain is dead right now. Maximilian S. Hardcastle. Max. That's why I was looking for your first name. Yes, I was never a fan of Requiem. So parts of Requiem they brought with them were the like universal merits and flaws and stuff like that. And it's just, there's too few. There's too few. I didn't mention that. There's too few. There's not enough merits and flaws. And they're badly organized. Good evening, y'all. Georgie. Good evening, Officer Georgie. Is this the guy from Papers, Please? Hey, Pop. Seems like you're in high spirits this evening, Miss Freya. You can still use your normal dice when you're playing V5. 6 to 9 is a success. 10 is critical success. Let me see here. Is it just the one that's the skull and the blood die? I mean, I can agree that it's an inconvenience that they have a specific, but that seems to be very much in the vein of all kinds of role-playing games these days. I see so many custom dice for all kinds of systems. But let's see here. The hunger die has a skull, which is a 1, which is a botch. So you can technically play it with normal d10s. You just have to do some conversion with it. But yeah, it's an inconvenience. I can agree. And please, Primogen, no need to be that formal with me. We're both on duty here, hence the formalities. You are as stiff as ever. Anyway, I have a shift tonight, so I need the usual. You have all the ingredients today? Not everything, but more than yesterday. Except for tea. I'm out of tea. You still remember my favorite, right? Coffee with a hint of sweetness. You got that right. Make sure not to use milk. Yeah, thanks to your Tomodachi profile, everyone knows you're lactose intolerant, Georgie. Yeah, revised clan books, I will always recommend them for someone who wants to read up on their own clan. Revised clan book is going to be the key to that. Timish, or Timitsi, or however you want to pronounce that. Oh yeah. Idrin, the Star Wars Edge of the Empire games, they have a lot of custom dice in it. It's bananas. Someone was telling me about that recently. But Timish, from what I heard with an interview of Matthew Dawkins, he said that they might not make it to the player's handbook. That being said, sorry, I was reading the chat. I haven't heard anything of the player's handbook, so my guess is they're actually pushing the release for it a lot. Because I think it was going to go... I thought player's handbook was going to come out like Q1 2020, but I have heard nothing about it so far, so who knows what's happening with that one. I don't think the Lasombra are kissing Ventru ass, though, as much as they're realizing that the Sabbat is getting fucked up. I have an interesting theory about that, by the way. I was reading somewhere that the theory is that one of the 3 second generation vampires, I think it was supposed to be the guy that named the city of I'm sorry, this is embarrassing. Second gen vampires, this is embarrassing. It's Friday, okay, it's the end of the week. Second generation Enoch, that's the one, Enoch. So the theory is that Enoch didn't actually die, and he's now arisen, and he's essentially using the Sabbat as his tool to fight the antediluvians, who are using the Camarilla as their tools. Yeah, Enoch, I'm sorry. I forgot that. So the theory is that that's what's happening, and that the Lasombra are like, oh, fuck that, we're not going to go into this fight, and they're jumping ship, essentially. And the Amici Noctis decided to do this. They sent Tally to the US and had him disperse a bunch of Lasombra to different cities in the US to kind of get into the Camarilla. They are filling an important niche, though, because the Bruja and the Gangrel are not around anymore. ministry with the Anarchs. But I think honestly, the La Sombra, there's so little known about how their time in the Camarilla is now. Like, Chicago by Night doesn't go too much into their role in the Camarilla, so I'm very interested in seeing future supplements discussing La Sombra and the Camarilla. I'm very interested in hearing more about that. But I mean, you also have La Sombra and Tribu, who have been pretending to be Ventru. That's like the common modus operandi for them to pretend to be Blue Bloods, so it's not new that they're... It's embarrassing for sure. They shouldn't be bowing down to the Blue Bloods. It's just disgusting. Disgusting! Anyway, sorry, Idrin. I agree. They have crazy amount of categories of dice. So custom dice apparently is a new thing that's going on. Anyway, a cup of sweet, healthy coffee, please. Oh yeah, but it was the second gen, and it's believed that he was so smart that he pretended to die, and now he's back again, and that's why he's. That's something that's going on with the Sabat anyway. They're set. All right, you wanted just a hint of sweetness. Honey is very sweet. Yeah, all right. Ginger's gonna make it bitter. Nope. That's not a hint of sweetness, but whatever. That's all I can do. I should give him some milk coffee though. Yeah, thanks. Hi, Ambi. How are you doing? Sorry. Yeah, Tsimitsi. Actually, you know what? I'll be right back. Let's get the revised edition, the pronunciation guide. She made a little squeak when I picked her up. I caught her by surprise. Sorry, Wilma. Showed you off in the chat. She was on the rug. Yeah, I think Mad Dodge, that's not an entirely inaccurate prediction. I think, yeah, the La Sombra might have moved because people wanted to play them. I think though that like they did a lot of changes that I don't really. There's some changes that I don't understand. Like I can understand the ministry going to the Anarchs, but like that's something the La Sombra going to the Camarilla. I can see reasons for it, but I can also see like why they wouldn't go. Let's see here. Jimisi. Z-H-I. I'll type it out in the chat. Zimishi. C. Okay. Zimisi. That. I'm not gonna do that. Stupid pronunciation. All right. Honey coffee. Here we go. I wanted to give him sugar, but apparently that's the only coffee they had. New World of Darkness had solid mechanics, but Vampire the Masquerade is all about the lore. New World of Darkness primary is falling and stitching the lore. Yeah, I can agree with that. Like, mechanics, I'm an idiot when it comes to mechanics. I'm really garbage at rules. Jamais say. But what was I gonna say? Yeah, rules I'm just bad at that. So it doesn't matter if the rules are good or not, I'm not gonna get them. But I felt like the lore is a strong part of Vampire. Like, it had very strong tonal lore. Yeah, like, yeah, there's the pronunciation. But the problem is they're not using phonetics when they're spelling out how to pronounce the name. They're just writing out like that. Jimizi. Just like, I don't know. I want to say Simish, because Zimish is how I, no wait, Simitsi. Yeah, see, now I'm getting confused. Simitsi is how I learned to pronounce it. Simish is how I'm forcing myself to pronounce it for the videos, because I was told that was the correct way to do it. But it's supposed to be Jimisi, which is like, who says that? That is like, how do you say that in a sentence and not go like, hello, I am Vlad from Clan Zimisi. Like, alright, cool, Vlad, go blood down in your chest. Not everyone can manage this combination as well as you. Thank you. By the way, I haven't ordered anything myself. Provide me with service like you gave the old pup here, please. What are you having? You still need to ask, huh? Oh, you never know. Espresso, of course. The one and only espresso. Yeah, I know that one. Here we go. I'm gonna trash it. Just throw it on the ground. I'm an adult. Next Vamp Onyx-Path game you're in, you should do that Blood Void the entire time. Yeah, if I do join one, yeah. I had to drop out of Blood City. I was playing that one as well. Essentially, it was Sunday evening, 10 p.m. to midnight, which worked up until I had to do costumes and stuff, and I wouldn't be in bed until 1 a.m. And they changed my schedule at work, which meant I started much earlier than usual. I was dead on Mondays, so I had to drop out of the game, unfortunately. Check it out, though. Blood City. It's the best game. A starless night sky for the green-haired fairy. I'm not even sure whether that's a compliment or not. I like Georgie. He's cool. This is perfect. Simitsi. Yeah, it's Simitsi. That's exactly how I used to pronounce it. God damn it. Oh. Simitsi. I want to throw something. Like, why do they keep changing it then? So how's everything going at the paper, Miss Freya? Alright, what did I learn? Georgie. Born and raised in Seattle, a lactose-intolerant cop. Journalist and short story writer. You can read my surreal and weird short stories at the Evening Whisper. I idolize and aspire to be someone like Gail Naiman or Maruki Harukami. Oh, please. At this point, just write their real names in there. As usual. Awful. Are you allowed to smoke in my coffee shop? I don't like that. She's making a risky deal with her boss. Yeah, pretty much. What kind of deal? I don't know if it's a real word or not, but I know that Vorsht is supposed to be nobility. And what's the name of the other one? No, not Vorsht. Not Vorsht is the battle ghoul. The other one. Vorsht and... Man, my brain is not working today. Vorsht. Oh yeah, Vorsht means leader or like nobility or something. And the other one is... Oh yeah, Vorsht is small ghouls that fiends make. And then you also have the... Let's see here, Vorsht and Zlakta. So yeah, Zlakta. Zlakta is a small one, and Vorsht is a battle ghoul. Professional lore video maker. A possible life-altering deal. A very dangerous one at that. Alright, so... Oh, okay. Sorry, Georgie. Okay. A deal she regretted. Not that much. Folks, seriously. Care to share the details properly? You tell him. She's secretly using her working hours to do something else. Something like writing her own novel. You got balls, I can tell you that. She does. Gee, thanks. How's the leap of faith going so far? It's not slowing down, that's for sure. And I haven't seen any safe haystacks to fall into. Good luck with that. Is that an Assassin's Creed reference? But don't worry, she's not losing her job, at least not yet. Her life will be pretty hard if she messes this thing up, though. thank you for the reminder. So yeah, as Imogen said, my editor-in-chief doesn't know about it yet. But my novel is going to be published by our parent company anyway. So technically I'm still doing work for the company. She'll be really pissed if she finds out though. Wait, is stealing time a crime? Technically I might have to arrest you. I like Georgie. Hey, you do it all the time too. Those are just coffee breaks. Sometimes they might take longer than they're meant to. But still, coffee breaks. You're making me feel worse by saying that. You should feel bad. Stop adding salt to the wound, okay? It's just a fact. Oh, I'm not sure whether this will make you feel better or not. I just realized not only is this set in the same city as Seattle by Night, this is set in Bloodlines 2 city. It's in Seattle. Maybe we'll meet Cross. Who knows? Schlachter. How far behind is the chat, by the way? This seems a little bit extreme. Or was I just added lately afterwards? God. Alright, I'm gonna say, when you hear this, type out the letter A in the chat. But if your writing career goes up in flames, the police force is always looking for people with balls as big as yours. Just don't mention that you like to do other things during work hour. He named it after a Yiddish stew? Oh my god. Mark Rainhagen, you person. I want to say thanks, but I feel like I should be offended. I mean, he literally named the clan the Shadow and Witches, so, you know. Yeah, that really does sound like something Mark would do. I'm sure you'll do just fine, Miss Freya. Do you have any idea what you're going to write? Yeah, the Vojd are the big ones, and the Schlachter are the small ones. I have, actually. Oh, good. What will it be about? A coffee shop and the stories people tell inside. You're letting her do that? Oh, there's no stopping her. What's wrong? I would appreciate if I had the option of kind of choosing my comments a little bit more, because right now it's like I'm reading a novel and occasionally I make coffee, which is fun, I guess. The coffee making part is fun, but I would like to have a little bit more autonomy as the player. It's my current impression of this game anyway. Please don't write about any shady-looking police officers who love to take breaks more than they should inside the coffee shop near their post. Tsimiskis. Yeah. Little ghouls are yeah, okay, yeah. Yeah, I have a friend who says Tsimitske. Actually, that's his way of pronouncing it. I will definitely write about the police officer. He'll make a good comedic character. Was that a compliment, or are you making fun of me, huh? I would call that a compliment. Is it? No, I don't think so. Hey, what do you have against me tonight? Primogen is probably worried about losing customers due to breach of privacy. Come on, it's not like I'll be using real names. And I'll dramatize most things I've heard, of course. That's even worse. Here's the thing. Oh, he's got like an old flip phone. That's pretty cool. Nice detail. The stories I've heard, they'll only be the inspiration for what I write. Yeah, that's good. That's a good other alternative for the origin of the clan name, Simon. By the way, as someone stationed here, I assume you've heard a lot of stories from the people around here, right? No. Come on. Nope. No, no, no. You helped me once with one of the stories I wrote for the paper. The one about the secretly rich beggar hanging around the block? Alright, no, also no one's at A, by the way. How far behind is this stream? I'm sure you can give me other interesting tips. I helped you more than once, actually. Zimis is a traditional Ashkenazi Jewish sweet stew typically made from carrots and dried fruits such as prunes or raisins, often combined with other root vegetables, including yam. Oh my god, he named it Smitsi after a fucking stew. All right. All right. I mean, pick whatever you want. Oh my God. I helped you more than once, actually. What, really? No, it's my turn to say, come on. Which stories are you talking about? You asked for information about the busker. The one who's always playing his guitar, always got a roast with him? Oh yeah, that guy. Yes, poor guy. Hearing about your girlfriend passing during an investigation is... I don't know. It's hard. Hey, he took it quite well, to be honest. It was hard, but at least you gave him closure. He never complained that you used the story for the paper. I got his blessing before giving it to the editors. Well, at least he's become more popular since the article was published. More income for someone in his line of work. Yeah, the rose has become the kind of prop for him now. Anyway, back to the topic. Any hot tips? Okay. Have you heard about this one girl? Ooh, tell me. Lately, this girl's been coming to a coffee shop in the area more than before. She's pretty weird. I don't know what her deal is. But she has bright green hair. Oh, come on! I was so excited to hear about something real. You think you're not real? Wow, that went deep fast. Faster than my career go downhill. Hey, what's with the sudden mood? Yeah, cheer up, girl. Ugh. Sorry, I'm having mood swings because of the pressure. You'll do just fine. I mean, you're great with your short stories. By the way, why this coffee shop? Because I spent a lot of my time here, I guess? And then there's this couple that visited the coffee shop yesterday. What about them? Also, I guess it makes sense that I wouldn't have a lot of autonomy because, like I mentioned before, I'm playing a barista. I'm not supposed to be a conversation starter. I'm just supposed to be listening. They're going through a pretty hard time together. You know, different races, different cultures, families don't approve. When I heard their story, I kind of felt their pain. What's happening to them happens a lot. What's happening to them happens to a lot of people. It's been told in fictional form countless times before. Well, I'm imagining that at the rate I'm playing, the plot isn't progressing super fast. I don't think there's much more plot to it though, but we'll see. I think it's more about like life stories, stuff like that. Oh, and there's the A. Holy fucking shit, that is late. Alright, that is like a delay of 5 minutes. Wow. Maybe I should restart the stream, but at this point, I don't know. But it's always an interesting topic to discuss. Are they regulars here? Nope. The girl visited this place before, if I'm not mistaken. She was with her co-workers or clients. Co-workers. There's my Swedish come through, by the way. Helping her friend sober up, I guess. Let's answer another question while we're at it. What do you think about the vampire rules? Do you house rule a lot or do you stay with the core rules? kind of discussed this one before. Mr. Zim, what do I think about vampire rules? Well, it took me 15 years to actually read the rules for initiative, and I don't like them. Alright, so, hear me out. The way I feel about the Vampire the Masquerade rules is that it's the perfect system for playing without dice. Hear me out. I really, really like the dot system because it is very clear in, like, when you read the little details about dots, it makes perfect sense how it works. I always tell my players, and obviously this is probably the house, I don't know if this is a house rule or whatever you want to do, but I always say you may have up to 5 in an attribute. Attributes are strength, dexterity, stamina, charisma, manipulation, appearance. Appearance no longer being a stat in later games. Perception, which is again no longer a stat. Intelligence and wits. I would say you can have up to 5 in one of those, but that's oh shush, shut up you Idrin. What was I gonna say? Yeah, you can have up to 5 in that attribute, but that means that you're literally peak humanity. So you're gonna stand out. Like you're on a freakishly high level of an attribute. And if you have 3 dots in an ability, a skill, they all have different names in Revised, but abilities are the skills, essentially. If you have 3 dots, you're very likely doing this professionally. You're not necessarily very good at it, but you're good enough to do it professionally. If you have 4 dots in something, you are very, very good at it. You're probably you probably compete on a national level, especially if you have a high matching attribute. 5 dots in something, you are the best. 5 dots in an attribute, 5 dots in an ability, you are literally peak humanity. People are gonna know, you're gonna be famous, you're gonna stand out in the crowd. I don't think Vampire is a good system for min-maxing in the regard that all of your attributes can have such a huge impact on your status, because you're playing a normal person, like in normal society. This is not Dungeons and Dragons where there's always a more powerful monster. For all humanity, having 10 in a dice pool is the highest you could possibly get. So if you have 10 in a dice pool, you are literally peak human. You're Usain Bolt. And that should count for something. So whenever I have character creation with players, I say you may have 1 dot at 4 points, no dots at 1 skill or attribute, ability at 4 points, no abilities at 5 points, even with experience when you're starting out, simply because, 5 dots especially, simply because you don't have anything to aspire to in that regard, and you're the best at it. It would mean that you would have to build your character completely around this. If you have 5 in athletics, you're gonna have skills that complement these 5 dots. You're gonna have, you're gonna have performance because you're gonna be holding speeches. You're gonna have etiquette because you're gonna be attending like events because of your 5 dots in athletics. Like, you have to construct your character around that, in my opinion. Anyway, this is house rule. I guess I can really see this as a house rule. But if you have 5 dots in something, that is your life. That's by for sure your career. So that's why I think if you make something like that, you really have to build your character around it. That would be my house rule for a vampire. Other than that, I think as long as it's like, if you have a 7 dot die pool, like I like the V5 rule that you can have your die pool, and if that's enough successes to actually pass, you can do that without a roll. It's a good dice rule. I didn't know about it until I heard it listening to Red Moon roleplaying. Again, very good actual play. I can recommend it. Matthew Dawkins is playing a ministry. Very interesting character, Dolph. I like him. Let's go to question number 5 from Mr. Zim. What is your thought about the deaths of La Sombra and Tzimisce Antediluvians? Are they actually dead, or was it their plan all along? Well, Tzimisce Antediluvians is obviously not dead. I think that's one of the worst kept secrets in the revised edition, that Tzimisce Antediluvian is not dead. It's literally in the clan book. It's like, there's the box saying he's not dead, or Tzimisce is not dead. So he's not dead, or it's not dead. It actually exists, if I understand correctly, it exists as the thing that was in New York sewers. It exists in the body of Tremere, because Tremere are technically... Ooh, is my microphone lower than usual? Is it deeper? I can try restarting it. Hold on. I am a little bit snuffly, but...
Yep. I get that problem sometimes. Also, my voice is cracked like I'm a 14-year-old, but is it better now? Oh my god, why didn't anyone tell me? I must have sounded very manly and masculine then. Oh my god. Yeah, Tzimisce is not dead. Tzimisce is not dead. He exists inside Tremere, fighting with Saulot over the body. He exists, or it exists, or used to exist in the New York sewers. Not there anymore. That changed in Becca's Jihad diary. Also, in literally every single Sabbat who's done the Voldery, there's a tiny piece of Tzimitzi. Oh yeah, of course you can boost it, but like having 10 in something, that means your peak, you're one of the best in the world. Like dot wise, you can't get better if you're immortal. So it's like, it's very, very important. I sounded cooler before. I'm sorry, Eric. But where was I? Yeah. Voldery was created by using the fire flower of Kupala, which again, I used to say Kupala, but apparently it's Kupala. Someone correct me in my Tzimitzi video. Tzimitzi! Anyway, the fire flower of Kupala is actually a small piece of Tzimitzi antediluvian. So I don't know if that's still used in the Voldery. I think it still is, but everyone who used that flower, although it broke their bond to their elders, it essentially bound them to Tzimitzi. And he's got cells in their bodies now. It's got cells in their bodies now, which means that he could not masticate, that's what cows do. It could form into like a new antediluvian, like it did inside the Draken. So that's weird and gross and horrible. So yeah, not dead. La Sombra antediluvian, I would say probably not dead either, in my opinion. Mostly because, you know, Oblivion, of Tenebration, I just think he didn't feel like having a body anymore. I don't buy the idea that he was so blind to God, why am I losing all the names now? Blah blah blah. Anarch Revolt. This is so embarrassing. My brain is head empty, no thought. Gratiano de Veronese, that's the one. Yeah, he's in the void. Gratiano may have been very smart, but I don't think that he outwitted the La Sombra antediluvian. It feels highly unlikely, in my opinion. And it's far more likely that the La Sombra just wanted a good reason to lose his body. Yeah, he is the void, essentially. Montano probably knows this and is disappointed in the Amici Noctis for not realizing or deciding to, you know, support the Anarch Revolt instead of staying loyal to the Antediluvian. But I can't imagine Montano not knowing it, because he was the closest one, you know. But I think Gratiano did not. I mean, Gratiano may even have been possessed by La Sombra antediluvian, as far as we know. So there's that. I don't think they're dead. I think the rumors of their deaths are highly exaggerated. And honestly, how do you kill an antediluvian? Cappadocius is technically not even completely dead anyway, so there's that. All right, Mr. Sims' questions have been answered. Let's go to Steelhavens. When did you first discover White Wolf, and which Splatline was your first White Wolf game? This was my first ever World of Darkness book. I bought this book in '99, I believe. Surprisingly well preserved, by the way. Let's see if there's a print date on this book. Like, very sturdily made book. Gathering Beasts. Unfortunately, my Werewolf the Apocalypse book was borrowed to a friend, and he subsequently lost it, so that's great. It was the second edition, by the way, which I believe is vastly superior to Revised as far as Werewolf goes, especially in terms of art. The art in Revised is not very good. Where's the heck? I love the smell of the book, by the way. Still smells the same way as when I bought it. Alright, this book was printed in... what's this? 98, 99, 2000. I don't think I bought this in 2000, though. Who wrote this disclaimer? Was it Justin Achille? It's got to be Justin Achille who wrote this. The Vampire the Masquerade is a game. It's a game that requires imagination, effort, creativity, and above all else, maturity. Part of maturity is realizing that Vampire is only a game and that the situation depicted in these pages are strictly imaginary. If you beat somebody at Monopoly TM, you don't go out and foreclose on their house. If you sink someone's battleship TM, you don't go down to the Navy yard and start throwing Molotovs at the boat. The same principle applies to any role-playing or storytelling game. In other words, you are not a vampire. When a game session ends, put away the books, pack away the dice, enjoy the rest of your life, and let other people enjoy theirs. And for the 99.99999% out of you who are sufficiently well-adjusted not to need such a ridiculous disclaimer, have fun. It's gotta be Justin Achille, man. Somebody ping him on Twitter and ask if he wrote this, because it really sounds like his style. I read one of his not treaties, but essays on role-playing, and it's very similar. So, you were asking about my Splat line as well. Which Splat line was your first White Wolf game? Yeah, that's Vampire. Although, technically, I do have more... I have more Vampire books now than Werewolf, but I used to have more Werewolf books, because I kind of decided to go more Werewolf, because my storyteller at the time had almost all the Vampire books we needed. So I bought more Werewolf books because I figured I could zone in on that. So that would be my first Splat line. Which one is my favorite from Old World Darkness, New World Darkness, Exalted, Scion, etc.? Can I just say that I think Scion is really good? Like, I played it a couple of times. I think it's a solid, well thought out system, good idea, and fun to play. Scion is really good. Scion is the one where you play the heroes, right? Not Trinity. No, Trinity games I never played. But Scion I liked. Exalted, didn't care much for it. Way too much focus on OP characters when I played it with people. I know you don't have to do it, but it was like Avatar: The Last Airbender stuff. My favorite Splat line is Demon the Fallen. That's my favorite. Haven't read all the books, but I like the idea the most. I absolutely love the book. I like the Judeo-Christian motif. I don't like that my cat is clawing at the couch right now, though. Demon the Fallen. It's gonna be my favorite. Vampire, very, very close second, but they're kind of oscillating, really. Scion is fine. Scion is a good game. I was surprised when they released it, because I was like, why are they gonna release a new game? But it's divided into 3 parts, like heroes, demigods, and gods, I believe, and like it's an interesting idea. Earthbound is about the demons who were summoned, right, and bound to Earth. Favorite map in World of Darkness? Oof, that's difficult. Not the Transylvania maps in Transylvania by Night. Very difficult to read. Not very detailed at all. I had to use a real world map. What's my favorite map? I'm gonna have to say the new Chicago by Night map. Extremely detailed, like good information. Well, not extremely detailed, but good information. But I've never what do I say? I try to use Google Maps a lot more, because the maps are not entirely accurate in what they're actually depicting. I did make a map of Stockholm once, because I did a very short run of Stockholm by Night. Not the LARP, but my own Stockholm. Alright. But yeah, favorite map would be the Chicago by Night map, the new one. The old ones are good too. The Demon the Fall book you mentioned, is it Ashes and Angel Wings? I'm assuming that's the question for Ambi, right? Alright. You get people coffee to sober up? Of course not. Some folks request coffee, but I recommend against it. I usually end up giving them tea, hot chocolate, or just plain water. That's nice of you. I hope they don't get pissed about the wrong order. Yeah, that happens sometimes. Good for you. Let me see if there's no more questions in the chat. Good for you. So okay, I answered all the questions I had from my patrons, so it's free grounds for more questions now. Also, Ambi, remind me, I have the tab open with your Old World Darkness game briefs and plot hooks. I'm gonna read it, I promise. I'm sorry I haven't read it yet. Very sorry about that. Anyway, look at the time. It's time for my shift. Oh yeah, go on and do your job, old man. Don't forget to share anything interesting you hear with me. Let's not make this a habit. Can't promise you that. Okay then, see you later, everyone. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna play the freaking give everyone coffee game, and because I can't focus on the story right now. So yeah, you have it on stream now, Ambi, so you can call me out if I don't do it. Let's go endless and just make coffee for people, because I think that's gonna be more gameplay. Free brew. Here we go. All right. She wants coffee. Brew. Serve it. So I really hit the spot. Make whatever you want. What, I can just mix? Milk. Ginger? Okay, so this is just making coffee? Oh, this cannot taste good. Milk, ginger, coffee. Gross. People like that stuff? I don't think that really hit the spot. I think you're lying to me. Didn't I make milk, ginger, coffee? Apparently that doesn't show up, so. Worst case scenario, endless coffee mode. I'm gonna go with the challenge one, actually. I'm gonna see if I can do that instead. This game is fun. I'm not gonna put it on blast. It's fun. I think I can play this more. But it doesn't have the stress factor of Papers, Please. Papers, Please is the perfect simulator of being a cog in a piece of machinery. A drink with chocolate, honey, and mint. Okay, chocolate, honey, and mint. I'm gonna assume this is like, oh, it's timed. Holy shit. Okay. Oh boy. Tea, mint, and mint. No. Yeah, tea. No, shit. Not green tea. Reset. Tea, mint, mint. All right, this is gonna be very stressful. So, yeah. Good night, Eric. Happy to have you here. Thanks for stopping by. Drink me with tea, and mint, please. Tea, mint. All right. This is not super hard. I think we're about to hit 2 hours soon. Do we have any more questions from the chat? Green tea, ginger, and lemon. Green tea, no, not mint. Reset. Green tea, ginger, lemon. Boom, 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 boom. Somewhat stumbled onto your stream here. You knowing more? Is there any date on the Hikata family reunion in lore? Oh boy, that's a good question. You know what? I'm just drop out of here. I'm gonna answer the question instead. Somewhat stumbled into your stream here. Now, you knowing more? Is there any date on the Hikata family reunion in lore? The family reunion happened fairly recently. I think it happened in the 10s for sure. I know that Chicago by Night happens in 2018, and the Chicago by Night sourcebook doesn't have any Hikata in it. Previous Chicago by Night source books have Giovanni in them, and I think the Giovanni and the Hikata were kind of just, the Giovanni were kind of just turning inwards during that time. So I believe the whole family reunion was happening before that. Can't say exactly when it happened, but it came about because of a worry about the agreement with the Camarilla running out, which will happen in 2023, I believe, because it was signed in 2023. And that was good night, Ambi. See you all, and take care, okay? I'm sorry about your loss. I'm sorry, I'm not gonna say anything more, but sorry. I believe, and Beckett Jihad Diary, I think, takes place in like 2006 or 2004, so it's somewhere in between there. I I would venture a guess and say maybe 2012 was when it started. Maybe later, maybe like 2016, 2018. It's very, very recent though. But there's been a lot of conflicts. Like a lot of it is tracking down family members that won't agree to the reunion and killing them off essentially. Oh, sorry, Steelhaven. I answered your question, but I can answer it again if you want in a second. Family reunion is happening, might even be happening in 2019 as far as I know. I don't think there is, let me see if I can see it. Timeline of Beckett's. It's definitely happening post-beckoning though. That's for sure. Or during, like, because they're not being summoned by the beckoning. Giovanni is diablerized by the Capuchin. Oh, God. I really wish I had a better time for you, but the dates are consciously being kept vague, which I believe is because it would be hard. There's obviously going to be an official timeline somewhere. I really would like to pick Matthew Dawkins' brains about that. But as far as I know, it's going to be maybe 2015? I don't know, somewhere around there. Definitely after 2010, though. Let's see here. Steelhaven first discovered White Wolf in 99, and my first White Wolf game was this book. Bought it in 99. I opened it, I saw it on the bookshelf, and I opened it up, and I saw this character, and I was 13, so obviously I had to get this book. That's how I got into White Wolf. That's the story. Have you any involvement or insight into the new Cults of the Blood Gods, and specifically curious about Nick Tuku mentions? I am not involved in it. Per se, I kickstarted it and got my hands on the preview. I don't recall seeing much mention of the Nick Tuku actually, which I do believe was supposed to be in it. But I think the Nick Tuku, isn't that an add-on or a stretch goal that they reached? I think that is. Let me check that up. I'm not involved in anything official at the moment. I stream for the Onyx Path, but purely as like a guest streamer for Changeling. So I wish I had more insider info than that. But let's see here. Nick Tuku. Yes, at $95,000, there's the Worshippers of Nick Tuku. So that will be released. There will be content about that, but it's not available in any publicized material yet. And that's about as far as I've got with that. I'm not involved in it. I did some talking with Josh, Huddy, and Outstar about it. But again, none of us are involved in the actual development. I can say this, however, and I cannot stress this enough. This is a really, really good book. Like, Matthew Dawkins and his team are just churning out great V5 stuff. If you were doubtful about the quality of V5, very few... Like, it's changed. Everything has changed since the original V5 books. I know Modiphius is releasing their lines of stuff, and the Onyx Path is releasing their stuff. Onyx Path stuff has been consistently very, very good. So I can heartfully recommend getting Chicago by Night and Cults of the Blood Gods. Let me see here. Do you think they will say what the Elder Becoming is? Oh, the Beckoning? The Beckoning, I don't know if they will say what it is, but the fan theory that I mostly subscribe to is that it is Enoch waking up and essentially might have even from the very beginning created the Sabbat as a weapon to get back at the Antediluvians for their betrayal. It makes sense that Enoch is starting a conflict with the Antediluvians in the Middle East, and the Antediluvians in turn are summoning their childer, or childer, however you want to call it. I don't think Enoch has the same power over them as the Antediluvians do, so I think the Antediluvians are essentially calling the most powerful servants to do things for them in the jihad battles. That's my theory anyway, or a theory I subscribe to. Mage, I've always wanted to play. Never got into it too much, to be honest, because I I didn't have anyone to play it with. I don't believe that the lore is difficult. I've heard that it's supposed to be pretty easy, but I do feel like the system requires a kind of mentality when playing it that prioritizes storytelling over personal success. That would make it progress much easier. I hope you're enjoying the music in the background, by the way. I certainly am. I'm gonna be playing this a lot myself anyway. Any further questions? We still have about 10 minutes left before I gotta go down the stream. Freudian slip much? Sorry. I'm very, very, very tired after this week. Oh, it is a plot point in the novel trilogy? I did not know that. That's exactly the kind of semi-obscure reference that Matthew Dawkins, his wily son of a bitch, would put into his books. There is stuff in Chicago by Night that you wouldn't understand unless you read Cult of the Blood Gods, which just goes to show that the Onyx Path is so good at handling this stuff. They have the right people, they have the right mindset. I'm super happy with that. Enoch would not carry the curse of Cain, as Enoch never broke Cain's laws. He would be some kind of uber powerful K-Tiff. I believe that. I would believe so. And I believe he certainly has a chip on his shoulder in regards to the death of his two siblings. So he's not into the antediluvians. He's starting a war with them, and they're essentially basically calling in their childer to be like, hey, protect us. I think that's the theory I subscribe to. What else is there to say? The size of Australia, yeah, for sure. Boom, 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 boom. What was I gonna say? Again, about this game, I think it's nice. I would assume that it gets harder as you progress, maybe, but it is certainly a narratively interesting game. I like the idea of having a lot of like tension between different fantasy races living in Seattle, out of all places. Kind of disappointed I didn't meet a big tattoo artist eating tacos, but I guess that might come up later. CA8620, you're asking, can I help you? Can I help you with what? What do you need help with? Continue. What do you need help with? Tell me and I'll try. Take care, Officer Georgie. Later. Blah, 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 blah. It says here. Blah, 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 blah. I think I need to go back to my writing. No offense, but I need to concentrate like crazy, so I'll move to my usual corner. Good luck with the writing. And don't forget to keep yourself hydrated. Here, take this glass of water. Oh, you're just the best, Primogen. Oh, don't I know it. You're welcome. Okay, off to the world of imagination I go. Go on. I should really get back to playing Bloodlines, shouldn't I? When I started playing it, I actually got so sick, I was in bed for like 3 days afterwards. That should do for the experiment. Someone is coming. Ooh, welcome, Mr. Gala. Hi, Primogen. Can we sit here? Yeah, sure thing, sir. Who is this mysterious stranger? This is the place you recommended. You don't like it? It's fine. I know it's not like the coffee shops you're used to in LA, but Gala, it's fine. Ooh, a little kitties walking by my monitor. Thanks for answers on Reunion. Got into World of Darkness recently with V5 and being perpetual GM, running for my newbie players a story set in New York as up to date as possible on lore, or at least at the moment trying to. That is ambitious. New York has certainly seen a lot of history. If you want to get some V5 up-to-date info on non-player characters or characters, I would really recommend checking out Coteries of New York, which is set in 2019, I believe. I think it's a very modern setting. It has its perks. It has some minor things. There's no Sabbat mention at all in it, which is strange. There would still be some war packs moving around, but it does have some of the movers and shakers of the city, like the Anarch Baron and the Camarilla Prince, for example, and the Camarilla Sheriff. Oh, he's so dreamy. But that would be good for some information, and I think you could probably get the revised New York by Night book. Should still be relevant. I think Midnight Siege could be useful as well, since it's talking about warfare in a city. I know that Steelhaven probably knows a bit about New York. He's made a character, if you recall, Maximilian S. Hardcastle. I did a video about him. He played a bit in New York, so he would know a bit about that. And oh, okay. There, you're talking about the books. Sorry. So New York's got a lot of lore to it. There's also, I would strongly recommend getting Becca's Jihad Diary. I mean, I would strongly recommend it regardless because it's an excellent book, but it has a chapter or two about New York City, which might be interesting for you. So there's that. Apparently the audio stopped now. Okay, that's boring for you guys. So I can recommend getting that. It can provide you a little bit of information. If you're strictly speaking only looking for New York information, it's a couple of pages. It's not too much, but so you just get the PDF. But oh yeah, Hunch of Bones. I am so excited about that. First stream. Pardon me. First stream is tonight, correct? It will be LA by Night. It's now being streamed by World of Darkness, which is amazing. 4th season. If you haven't seen LA by Night, seriously, what are you guys doing? Go check that out. It's amazing. My favorite scene from that, just gonna say that, is when Victor Temple, the Anarch Ventru, declares praxis against the Camarilla Prince. Not fully. I still think he didn't actually know what that entailed, because he got murdered by the other barons in the episode after that, and that was peak vampire role-playing in my opinion. Anyway, I'm super excited for season 4, LA by Night, but I'm even more excited by Vain Pursuits because Outstar is going to be playing in that, and Outstar is amazing, so I'm super happy. Also permanently super duper happy that World of Darkness is doing stuff on their own. I'm really excited about 2020. They're expanding their business. They're hiring more people. They're doing streams. I think that's super good. And yes, I'm a little bit jealous that Outstar is on the World of Darkness Twitch stream. That would be a dream to play a game there. Either run a game or to play a game on the World of Darkness Twitch. Yes.
I think the word you're looking for is envious.
Envious, not jealous. Thank you. Envious.
You think you're happy for her.
Yes, I'm happy. Envious is the correct word. I'm not jealous. Okay, I'm a little bit jealous too, but mostly envious. Yeah, Beck's Jihad Diary is very, very good. Took me a while to read it though. And oh, they're saving the Sabbat. Yeah, exactly. The Sabbat is being saved. From what I've heard, because I think I recall this was another quote by Matthew Dawkins. White Wolf are being very, very, very careful with any mentions of the Sabbat. Like they always read everything that's being produced, and they don't want anyone to read anything about the Sabbat just yet. I think there's probably a lot of reasons for that, but one of the big ones is that V5 is, in many ways, I would argue, a spiritual successor of first edition of Vampire. First edition of Vampire was much more focused on elders and neonates. It was about Anarchs versus Camarilla, and it was about finding the man. Like, that's the impression I get when I read all the old books, that it was way, way more about being like a young vampire in an hostile Camarilla environment, and that kind of loosened up a lot more in later editions, and I think that V5 is very much going back to that in terms of spirit in what it's doing. So I think they're also, in a way, being careful with the spot because of that. Yeah, it's very gothic punk. Personal horror. A lot of personal horror, I would say. We are coming up to 2 hours, so I'm gonna take one last round of questions before I'm gonna end the stream, because I want to sleep so I can watch this little LA by Night stream tonight. It's in 6 hours. Oh my god. But I really want to watch that. So, do we have any last questions? Checked Cody's a couple of times after reading New York by Night. I kind of felt like Cody's were a V5 New York by Night in visual novel format. Line, I would say yes, that is a very accurate assessment of what Cody's of New York is. It's New York updated to V5 setting, essentially. If any consolation to my envy, I know a few people you mentioned your channel in the World Darkness survey. Really? People mention me? No, really? That's holy shit. Wow. I'm happy they did. I'm very new on the World of Darkness playing field right now. Well, as far as being a channel goes, I'm super happy people find my content enjoyable and informative. I feel very upset that I stick to the 10-minute formula, because that means there's always stuff that I'm not mentioning in my videos. I'm very sorry about that. Thank you so much for mentioning me in the surveys, by the way. I'm very excited about that. Very, very happy, actually, that I can help you guys out. The reason is, a big reason why I don't mention everything. Big reason is that I want you to read the books yourselves. Not because I'm a shill. Well, I'm obviously a shill, duh. No, because it's hard to capture the feeling of the clan books. And the revised clan books are really, really good for a very important reason. They're all written differently. They're all written in a different kind of narrative way, which I think makes for very good reading in general. So I cannot stress enough that if you're gonna buy print-on-demand books, or PDFs if you prefer that, buy the revised clan books, not the novels, the clan books. They're well worth the money. They're not expensive comparatively, and the quality's pretty good. Again, super happy that you guys mentioned me in the survey. That's awesome. Thank you very much. No, stop. Hopefully the camera light is adapting to that. Thank you. Yeah, we're all White Wolf shells. I'm Hancho Bones. That's I do know it's growing very much, and I'm super happy about that. The term Renaissance of Vampire the Masquerade, a vampire renaissance, is being thrown around a lot. I fully support this term. I believe that despite a very shaky beginning, we're entering a new period of World of Darkness role-playing games. I really hope the werewolf game is going to be good. It's always been a little bit of the weird younger brother of Vampire, the weird kind of slightly over-aggressive younger brother to Vampire, but I want Werewolf to be a good game too. I think it's difficult not to make it relevant, let's just say that, considering the state of the world. And I am excited if my videos help people get into this role-playing game. That's enough for me. That makes me very satisfied. This goes back to what I was saying about V20, because I have a bunch of friends who started out with V20 and dropped out because it was just too many options. That's not necessarily a problem, but you need an experienced storyteller to kind of narrow down the focus of the chronicle. I think in Beckett's Jihad Diaries, they actually have a piece in the end where they talk about like themes of the different editions, which I think is very, very important for everyone to read if they want to get into discussions about different editions in Vampire. It's just basically reflecting on like what was the spirit of this edition, and V20 is very lore. What's the term for it? Lore agnostic, I believe the term is. It has very little to do with the metaplot agnostic, I guess you'd call it, which in a way I think is fine. I think a big part of learning to play vampire is reading about these characters and what they're doing in the game. So I think that's an important part to it. Sorry, I'm just rambling right now, but I mean, they have little flavor text to all the different attributes and abilities in Revised. I'll read one for you, just to like why I like these books so much. Intimidation. Lucita audibly drew a breath. She's a vampire, but she drew a breath. And something seemed to gather around her, something palpable. Her gaze settled on one of the black-clad bodyguards, then the other, but lingered for no more than a second on each. Both men grew very pale. One tried weakly moving his hand towards his shoulder holster, but stopped almost instantly at the sound of her voice. I said this conversation was private. Leave. Now. That's just flavor text for a skill. And I think that is, in a nutshell, yeah, she's a little Sombra. Yeah, I mean, she shows, like, they're using the metaplot characters to showcase how these skills and attributes are used. And I think it's such a neatly packaged system. And I like that it's called a storyteller system, because again, I think the emphasis should be more on creating a good story together rather than creating a murder monster, which, you know, that's okay. Not what I want to play, but it's okay if you want to do that. But the system is designed in a way I feel much less than Dungeons and Dragons, which again, I'm not opposed to Dungeons and Dragons. I played it a lot. I like 5th edition. I like 3.5 a lot. But I think it's a system that's designed around a very specific kind of focus, which is combat. You can take the combat out of Dungeons and Dragons, but you're kind of hamstringing the game at that point. And you can certainly hack Dungeons and Dragons a lot, and I think that's fun. But there are plenty of role-playing systems out there who do these things better. And I think Vampire does social role-playing and does skill-based role-playing much better than the rather square system of Dungeons and Dragons does. I don't like the D20 system with skills. I think it's way too random. And the bonuses you get, usually I don't think they make up for the difficulty level. And maybe that's just me, but when I'm a game master in Dungeons and Dragons, I kind of want to be slightly antagonistic towards my players. So I usually give them a challenge that, oh, Simon, your message got retracted? Sorry, I don't know why that didn't show up. But I don't want to make a point about Dungeons and Dragons versus Vampire. They both are very good games and they fulfill exactly what they're meant to do. But I think that a lot of people are a little scared to jump ships, to try different new stuff. Vampire is a system designed for storytelling. And that's obviously kicking in a lot of open doors, but that's just the way I am. I'm cool like that. It's been about 2 hours and 10 minutes of the stream. I know I keep asking for last questions, but if there's any more questions you guys want me to talk about, I will be happy to do that. I got another couple of minutes before I got to go to bed. But sorry, this game was a little bit more slow-paced than I thought it would be. Not a bad game. Certainly not a good game to stream with. Like for the I'll show you. This free coffee making thing, endless free brew, is just basically make whatever you want, which is weird. And challenge mode is just very stressful. Like I would just want to be one. I like things that are bitter, but also slightly sweet. So you could try to come up with that. But she just told me make whatever I want. So, you know, maybe something like that. Maybe like a free brew system, but you kind of have to predict what they want you to make. All right. Oh, sorry. You were repeating what I said. Okay, sorry. You don't have to delete it, though. Do you think we'll hear any updates this year from Modifius on the organized play plans, and what do you think about it? I played Fall of London when I was at Dragon Meet. It was really, really fun. I played with Matt Tim, I believe his name is. Really nice guy. He's working on the game. Fall of London, I haven't been able to give that as much time as I wanted to. I really want to read through the entire book just to give it a fair assessment. But organized plays, I've only done it a few times. First time I did it, I got very disappointed. I played 4th edition at PAX East back in 2009. God, that was really long ago. All right, I played 4th edition PAX East. It was glorified combat. They didn't like that I embellished, which is fair. They wanted to get through the adventure, but that kind of didn't sit well with me. The organized played under Matt Tim, despite being in an extremely crowded and loud room where people were being very, very loud. I had a lot of fun. They had pre-made characters. It was a fun scenario. I enjoyed it. Organized play, I'm willing to try that more now. I want to meet new people playing, but I've always been kind of scared of that. As for about whether we will hear about it, Modiphius seem a little bit backlogged right now. They still haven't released the final version of Fall of London, which I believe was supposed to come out last summer. No news about Player's Handbook. No news is good news, I guess. I don't think it's going to come out until at least 4th quarter this year, though. That's just my assumption, since we haven't heard anything about it. If that's the case, I hope they're delaying it because they want to work in the Tzimisce and potentially the Ravnos, but I don't think the Ravnos are going to be in there. I think they're just busy. But if you want a little piece of opinion, I think it's a little bit troubling that they're doing also the Dune role-playing game and the Fallout role-playing game, and like they're doing a lot of different games at the same time. It feels like they're a little bit all over the place. I don't have any insight into Modiphius, so honestly, they probably have different teams working on stuff. But for me, it's hard to sift through stuff, and it feels like they're buying a lot of properties to make role-playing games out of, which is fine. I like Dune. I like Star Trek. I like a lot of stuff. But there's a lot of eggs in that basket, and it might be that they're having some issues with allocating resources. I don't know. I don't have any inside information, but I wish them all the luck. I really am looking forward to the Player's Handbook. I do have background music when I do play sessions. I don't do background music for our streams for multiple reasons. It's hard to work it in because I'm doing all the I'm the behind the scenes and the storyteller, so it's difficult to work it in. When I upload my VODs, I used to put in music in the Changeling games. I don't have the time. I really don't have the time to do that. Sessions are like 2 to 3 hours long. Very difficult to sit through that and decide which music I'm gonna use. Also, I don't want to use too much, I don't want to use copyrighted music, period. And I don't want to get into trouble. But generally, it's just like, it's a lot of work to put in music into the games. When I play in real life, I always put in music though. When I play on Roll20, we do Dungeons and Dragons, me and some friends, I have background music on all the time. It's good stuff to have in a game. Victor's here. He's not visible on the camera though. Is the combat in V20 more tedious than V5? That really depends. If you do simplified combat in V5 combat is super fast. I think V20 tedious would be, there's a lot of rules, I guess. Like you V20 is, I wouldn't say tedious, but V20 is heavy in the fact that there's so many different disciplines and rules. So I guess it could get tedious if you have to look things up all the time. One thing I've noticed in Changeling is that since all the contracts are so vastly different from each other, there's a lot of time looking up exactly what a contract does. So I kind of like the V5 idea of consolidating disciplines a bit more, to be honest, although I would have liked more disciplines. Sorry, Simon, I'm reading your post here right now. Yeah, copyrighted content is like there's Incompetech, which is the music I'm always using for my videos. If I'm not using music from Vampire Redemption, Bloodlines, or Preludes, then I'm using music from Incompetech. Kevin MacLeod. His music is free to use to a certain extent. You're allowed to use it in monetized stuff. you have to give credit. But if you're like a company making money, you're not allowed to use it unless you buy a license. But I don't care too much about copyright when I'm playing just with friends, obviously, because I'm not recording that. But I got to keep in mind that I don't want to get any strikes on my channel, stuff like that, and I'm kind of terrified of that. I think combat in V5 is very, very fast. What I don't like is the complete lack of initiative order if you go simplified combat, so I kind of mix and match there. Combat was surprisingly brutal when you got into it in V5. I did some playing with my real life group. The only reason they survived Malenkov in the sacrifice, excellent chronicle for Chicago by Night, by the way. The only reason they survived was because the guy going up against him was a Ventru with, I think, 3 or 4 dots in Fortitude, 3 dots, I believe, and he only barely survived. Malenkov is a fucking monster. That's one way to put it. So I think combat in V5 is simplified. It's very simplified. It's more similar to the system of New World of Darkness or Chronicles of Darkness. V20 rules. When I actually used V20 rules, we played the Transylvania Chronicles with a couple of friends a couple of years back. I had one were rat show up. Because I figured, hey, there's 5 of them, they could probably take him out. They could not take him out. 3 of them died. So one thing that Dungeons and Dragons has on vampire games for combat is that Dungeons and Dragons has the challenge rating system. Vampire needs something like that, like some kind of suggestion. V5 has some like stats for different kinds of challenges as far as the game goes, but it's still like, if you're not an experienced storyteller, it's hard to gauge how difficult you want your NPCs to be in fighting. But yeah, 3 of them died. That was my bad. Sorry. Oh god. The other 2 survived because the were-rat was chased off, by the way. They didn't actually kill him. So I intervened. I feel bad about that. Okay, as you can probably tell, my throat is going a little bit, and I'm also getting kind of tired. It's been a very long week. I would love to do this for another hour, but I want to get up in the morning and watch LA by Night, and I want to watch Outstar and her merry band of ne'er-do-wells work their way from from California, from LA to Seattle. So thanks everyone for stopping by. I had a great time. Don't forget to drink coffee. Coffee's great. Coffee Talk. And the game is out. It's like less than $10 on Steam. I'd recommend it. It's a fun game. I'm sure it has way more stuff to it later on. We got to like day 2. So take care everyone. Thanks for stopping by, and see you in the stream. Bye-bye.